Hello everyone, my name is Jayden Harris and welcome to this video about the threats of the online safety bill and the threats that it poses to the United Kingdom and indeed the Western world and discourse in the United Kingdom. Free speech is a fundamental right to us as human beings. Without free speech, we don't have democracy, and if we don't have democracy, then we cease to be the Western civilization which has been so successful in the world to this point so far. If we introduce this bill, this online safety bill, into our legislation, then I'm afraid we cease to be a democracy and are slowly turning into a bare-boned, authoritarian, autocratic state. In the UK, we like to think of ourselves as freedom-loving. Boris Johnson even called the British public that. He's quoted as saying, "We are freedom-loving." The current Conservative government, and I say Conservative in the loosest of terms, I don't believe this government is Conservative at all. This current Conservative government appears to be becoming more and more authoritarian with every bill it tries to pass. The online safety bill is new legislation which aims to introduce obligations for social media companies to keep users safe. The first problem with this bill is that it continues the trend we are currently seeing of putting safety over freedom. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to put safety over freedom. I want to put freedom over safety because I believe that if we are too cautious with our life, if we don't take risks, then unfortunately we are going to not enjoy life to the fullest extent that we can. The question of should something that is harmful but lawful be allowed is a question that the social media companies and the governments around the world are going to have to wrestle with, particularly this UK government. If I say something that may be harmful to you, it may not be harmful to another person, but it may be harmful to you and it's based on your subjective feelings, but it is lawful. Should I then be prosecuted under the online safety bill, or should the social media companies be prosecuted because they have breached their obligations that the government would introduce upon them? So that is the question that is being posed. That is the question that we're going to have to come up with a solution with. And it is my view, it's my personal view, that free speech should be absolute. Now, obviously, if you shout fire in a crowded place and there's actually no fire and cause mass panic, then that is not free speech. Also, hate speech is not free speech. Hate speech is its own separate definition. It doesn't come under free speech. There's another problem with this online safety bill. The increase of big tech censorship that we're seeing on Twitter and social media platforms. Big tech and Silicon Valley and all those sorts of platforms, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, they have been censoring conservative voices in the media. They've even deplatformed the, at the time, sitting president Donald Trump. This is a very dangerous moment we're in, and we've got to be careful that we don't actually turn our world, our Western world, into an autocratic state, because this is what it ultimately boils down to. It boils down to this: are we going to be for freedom or for authoritarian safety measures, which we've seen throughout the pandemic and we're now seeing on regulating harms in social media aspect? There's these three questions: the trend that we're currently seeing of safety over freedom, the question of should something that is harmful but lawful be allowed, and the increase of big tech censorship. I've been Jayden Harris for Reason.